Cześć, tutaj Moni, and welcome to Learn Polish with Advance. In this lesson, we continue on analyzing the locative case, but this time we will closely look at those feminine nouns ending in locative with the vowel and e. So, which ones are these? Let's have a look at some examples first, okay? So, words like praca, kasza, puszcza, róża, burza, kukurydza are all feminine. You know that they are feminine because they end with the letter A, but not all feminine nouns end with letter A. We will have quite a few exceptions. Look at the word kość, a bone. A lot of nouns ending OS accent, C accent, kość, miłość, zazdrość will be feminine, okay? Powódź, flooding, floods. O przyjaźń, friendship. They are also feminine. There are exceptions. They don't end with the letter A, but they are feminine as well. So you have to learn by heart those exceptions. Unfortunately, just looking at them and seeing the consonant that they were at the end, you would assume, okay, consonant, they are masculine, but they are not. So you have to learn them by heart. But don't worry too much. These are your first exceptions to learn. So just a reminder, you know that some feminine nouns will have the ending "a." Those which are in a group of our best friends, as you remember. You also know that certain feminine nouns will have the ending "a," but also will have a strange, different alternation, okay, after these kind of consonants that you see here. D, R, L, with a cross, which is W in Polish, and then T, right? So that's just a reminder which take A, but these feminine nouns which have the consonants as such, as you can see here on the yellow field, and the kind of turquoise or teal color field, will have the ending and E. So these are your Y ending and these are your I ending. Those consonants that you see with an S accent, let's see, C accent, Z accent, DZ accent, accented consonants, we call them soft consonants. So soft consonants will have the ending E, okay? These consonants will have the ending So which consonants are these? Okay, take away A and you see that we've got ts, sh, t, zh. It's also zh, just spelled differently. That's the same sound. And z, right? Also dr, but I didn't give you here any example at the stage. This is absolutely enough for now. So if you're thinking about work, myślisz, you're thinking o pracy. So praca becomes prace. Your last A becomes E. Now, kasza in Polish is groats, usually barley groats. Could be also semolina, kasza manna. So you know what I mean, barley groats or semolina, kasza. When you think about it or you talk about it, you would say myślę o kaszy. So again, don't worry that it doesn't make any sense, the sentence at this stage. It's just to analyze the ending. So kaszy. Okay, that's your ending. Now, actually, maybe some people are thinking about semolina. Some barley. Okay, puszcza, wilderness or backwoods. Puszcza. If you think about it, you're thinking, myślisz o puszczy. Róża, a rose. O róży, about rose or róże. Burza, storm. O burzy. Kukurydza, o kukurydzy. So you get the picture. You know what I'm talking about. Those consonants make the feminine noun ending so just influence the ending um, um, into basically. Okay, now cebula, kolacja, kość, powódź, przyjaźń. I deliberately divided these exceptions by the bone here. Cebula, you know this word, cebula, onion. Kolacja, a supper or late dinner. Kość, bone. Powódź, flooding. And przyjaźń, friendship. These, as I mentioned before, are feminine nouns. Strange, but they are. And you can see that after L and Y, cebula, kolacja, the ending for locative case will be I, cebuli, kolacji, right? And the ending also here for kość, powódź, przyjaźń will be I. But what we're going to do when it comes to writing this, right? Think about, this is the example I'm going to give, the accent above the last consonant here becomes actual letter I. So kości in locative we would spell KOS accent CI. The accent becomes the letter I. Okay, powódź is slightly different because we would lose the accent here. Okay, so I had to give you that example so that you would see the powodzi, right? I'm gonna type it in a second, but in this example, the accent above O will be lost. It will happen with some words. Don't worry about it for now. Przyjaźni. Okay, so take the accent, make it an I. So you don't, basically what you wouldn't have is kości, so the I letter and accent. Okay, we never have that. Either it's the C accent, which is chi, or we take the accent, make an I, and it's also chi, but differently spelled differently. So let me type it for you. Do you see what I mean? Cebuli, kolacji, kości. Our accent became I. Powodzi. Again, don't worry about this O and O accent here, okay? Powodzi. So O, powodzi. If you remember that udzi, odzi, okay? You would remember at some point learning examples like that when you come across words that are very similar, you would just apply the same principle to it, right? So when we've got this accent, we will just basically lose it in locative. So powódź, powodzi, przyjaźń, przyjaźni. Okay, so take the accent, make it an I. Okay, so that's it when it comes to feminine nouns. You know the full spectrum here now. You know all the endings all the letters that cause the ending You also know the letters the endings and e. What we are going to do tomorrow is to look at the endings o for masculine and neuter, and that will conclude our locative case. And practice will be using prepositions of place and practicing not only locative but also genitive and instrumental, because all our prepositions of place like under, above, over, next to, by, between, in front of, behind will be connected with different cases. Some of them connect with a genitive, some of them with locative, some of them with instrumental. And as you know instrumental now, and as you know genitive, and as you are about to know everything about locative, you will be ready to go through prepositions of place and starting placing things in concrete position. So and talking about it in Polish. So that's it. Thank you very much for today. And I will see you tomorrow. And we'll be talking about masculine and neuter nouns ending u and locative. Thank you. Dziękuję bardzo. Pa.